Alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, wadahu la sharika lahu. I greet everybody with the universal greetings of Assalamu alaikum. Praise God, Lord of the universe, Lord of the multiverse. God willing, today's quick bar title is called Quran is for all time. Open your mind. Quran is for all time. Open your mind. I'm going to be reading from Jonah, Surah 10. I already had the quick bar kind of mapped out, but in the ayats that I was going to read, but when I came in earlier, something had caught my eye, so I said I'm going to add this with it. It's in Jonah 54. If any wicked soul possessed everything on earth, it would readily offer it as ransom. They will be ridden with remorse when they see the retribution. They will be judged equitably without the least injustice. Absolutely, to God belongs everything in the heavens and the earth. Absolutely, God's promise is the truth, but most of them do not know. He controls life and death, and to Him you will be returned. O people, enlightenment has come to you herein from your Lord, and healing for anything that troubles your hearts, and guidance and mercy for the believers. Just wanted to read that because even though I've read the Quran, we've read the Quran numerous times in our lives. Sometimes when you read an ayat or a surah, it just comes back at you in another way that you never felt before. And that's what I felt when I had read this. So now I'm going to jump over to 62. Matter of fact, I'll just finish this out. Yeah, I'll finish it out. Say, with God's grace and with His mercy they shall rejoice. This is far better than any wealth they can accumulate. You know, right here God is telling us something. God is telling us that, you know, with His grace and with His mercy they shall rejoice. So we should be rejoicing in God's grace and also in God's mercy. Because God is telling us that this is far better than any wealth we can accumulate. And right here, God is saying to us, He's saying that for some people, they're rejoicing in all the wealth and stuff that they got. And for them, you know, that's it. You know, I got like 20 cars or whatever I got, and you know, this is it. That's it for them. But God is saying that for us who understand the material world and the spiritual world, the physical world, the emotional world, and just life in general, He's saying for us, joy for the believers. With God's grace and with His mercy, they shall rejoice. So this is, you know, where we are as Semites. We are constantly rejoicing in God's grace and seeking God's mercy. This is what we seek. Even though we seek other things, we know that the ultimate thing that we're constantly seeking is God's grace, God's mercy, and we're rejoicing in that, and that secures us in this world and in the life to come. So we have an understanding of the material world. So that's the balance. God talks about the mizan in the Quran. That's the balance God wants us to have. Say, did you know how God sends down to you all kinds of provisions? All kinds of provisions. Then you render some of them unlawful and some lawful. Say, Did God give you permission to do this, or do you fabricate lies and attribute them to God? Does it ever occur to those who fabricate lies about God that they will have to face Him on the day of resurrection? Certainly God showers the people with His grace, but most of them are unappreciative. So God is telling us that we're going to leave here and we're going to face our Lord, our Creator. Yeah, we're going to face God. And it's good for us to know that we're going to face God one day, because that checks our character, that checks our behavior, that checks our thinking, that checks our emotions. So when we may feel a certain way and we want to respond a certain way, we say, hold up, I can't respond like that. And the reason why is because we know that we're going to have to face God on the day of judgment. So basically, it gives us an understanding of, changing ourselves, bettering ourselves, trying to be the best person, be kind. This is a gift from the Creator, because that's grace. And that's grace. God gives us grace, and we can show others grace. If we really look at God's grace and God's mercy, what God gives to us, we can give to other people on a humanitarian level. But most of them are unappreciative. So we ask God to protect us from ever being unappreciative. And if we find ourselves being unappreciative, then we ask God to show us where we are in being unappreciative. Because unappreciative can hit various areas of our lives. So we ask God to show us where we are pertaining to what He's saying in the Quran, so that way we can regroup, regather ourselves, and get back on the path. And that's the blessing of being a submitter. The path checks you. And then as the path checks you, you check you. That's the blessing, because this is a behavior that, we're working on. We're working on our character, on ourselves. And this is why God speaks about certain things in the Quran, because He wants us to try to respond in the best of manners. He wants us to try to think in the best of manners. He wants us to treat people in the best of manners. Even though they may not treat us right, God don't want us to be like them. God wants us to use a higher insight and a higher knowledge that He's given us, so that we don't get caught up in the madness and the insanity of the world. Because it takes us away from the balance of peace. So this is the blessings that God allows us to understand when we read this Quran. God will give us understanding of the book, because the book checks our behavior. Our behavior entails thinking, feelings, responding, reacting. Everything is checked. And that's the beauty of the Quran. God be glorified forever. You do not get into any situation, nor do you recite any Quran, nor do you do anything without us being witnesses thereof as you do it. So God is telling us that every little thing we do, God is with us. God is with us. The angels are writing. Everything is being recorded. Not even the atom's weight is out of your Lord's control, be it in the heavens or the earth. Nor is there anything smaller than the atom or larger that is not recorded in a profound record. So God is letting us know that He is Al-Alim, the knower. God knows everything. And the Quran is for all time, and this is why we must constantly open our mind. When we open the book, we are opening our mind. If we don't open the book, then we're going to keep and have a closed mind. We'll be operating off our own. I think I know this. I think I got this. You can't tell me nothing. You can't teach me nothing. I've been doing this. So that's why it's very important that we read the book, study the book, take whatever we can understand from the book and try to apply it to ourselves to make us better people. Quran is for all time. Open your mind. Absolutely. I'm at 62, Jonah 10:62. Absolutely, God's allies have nothing to fear, nor will they grieve. God is telling us that his allies have nothing to fear, nor will they grieve. I'm an ally. We're allies. We're allies. And we constantly strive to remain allies of the Creator. It's very, very important. It's very, very important for our soul. And it's very, very important for our physical existence as well. Because it gives us a way out of the madness. There are those who believe and lead a righteous life. This is us. We believe. We're striving to lead a righteous life. For them, joy and happiness in this world. And we can honestly testify that God has given us joy and happiness in this world. God describes what he has given us. He said, for them is joy and happiness in this world, right? And we can honestly say, yes, God, I've experienced joy. I've experienced happiness. So guess what? God is telling me the truth. God has never lied to me. God has never fooled me. God has never tricked me. God has never deceived me. For them, joy and happiness in this world, as well as in the hereafter. So that means we're getting goodies in this life and we're getting goodies in the next life. And as I may mention before, that's a win-win-win-win-win all across the board. Because with God, you cannot lose. We can't lose with God because God is just. Even if we're wrong, we still cannot lose because God has a just record. God has a just balance. And that's the blessings right there. We thank the Creator for the joy and happiness that he has given us. Right? Even when them days might seem a little rough, the joy be coming and the happiness be coming, and we forget about them rough days because God always compensates us. The submitters, the true believers of God alone, he always compensates us. And we got to hold on to that. No matter what comes down the pipeline, God is going to compensate me. I'm going to be all right with the Creator because I am an ally of the Creator. I'm walking with God. I'm striving to be with God. And like I said, if I veer off, I remember my Lord and run back to my Creator. Because at the end, that's all I really got. Do not be sad. Okay, I'm sorry. For them, joy and happiness in this world as well as in the hereafter. This is God unchanging. This is God's unchangeable law. So God has laws, and it's unchangeable. God don't show favoritism. God doesn't show favoritism. God has unchangeable laws, such as the greatest triumph. They saw like the person that's competing in the Olympics and they get the trophy or they get the gold medal or whatever. And to them, you know, that's one of the greatest triumphs for them. But God is saying with him is the greatest triumph. Such is the greatest triumph. Joy and happiness. Do not be saddened by their utterances. All power belongs to God. He's the hearer, the omniscient. Now, listen, Quran is for all time. Open your mind. Right here, we can apply this to a situation on a human level. Somebody says something that might hurt our feelings, and God tells us right here, do not be saddened by their utterances. You see how deep the Quran is? The Quran applies to every situation that we may feel or go through in life. But we won't know that if we're not reading the book. We won't know that. We won't understand when something, oh man, I know what to do. I'm not going to let that faze me. I ain't going to let it overcome me. Because God told me, do not be saddened by their utterances. All power belongs to God. He's the hearer, the omniscient. So what God is telling us is do not give people power over what God has given to you. That's what God is telling us. He's saying, do not give people power over what I have given you. I've given you the brain. I've given you the eyes. I've given you the hearing. I've given you the soul. I've given you the Quran. And I made you a Khalifa in the earth. And I provide provisions for you, seen and unseen. So God says, don't be saddened. I'm going to take care of you. But you got to be an ally. not a rebel, an ally. So Quran checks us every step of the way. We are checked by the Creator. I can check you, but God won't check you. And when God checks you, God is going to check you with just balance. And as God checks you, God is going to teach you something about who you are, where you need to be, where you need to go, how you need to think, how you need to respond, and how you need to react, and how you need to be as a submitter. And on that, we're going to begin. Alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lahu. Title of the book is called Quran is for all time. Open your mind. I just put this together last night, even though I was already in Jonah. God be glorified, Lord of the universe. We thank the Creator. We glorify the Creator. We ask the Creator to constantly show us who we really are, so that we don't get caught up in our own thinking, so that we don't get caught up in our nafs, our lower desires, so that we don't get caught up in the knowledge we have. We always base our understanding and knowledge on what God is saying in the Quran, so that way we don't be unjust to people and we don't be unjust to ourselves. Because even with all the knowledge, God says in the Quran, that even with all the knowledge that they had, the shaitan was still able to overcome them. So we got to be on point at all times. We got to be strong and watchful and vigilant at all times. Because even with everything that we know, Shaitan is still trying to play us out of pocket. So we got to be strong in this path. And most importantly, we must maintain the inner peace that the Creator has given us, the joy and happiness. We have to. So we can think right. We can do right. We can handle situations when they arise. And we can do it intelligently, God will. And we pray, and I ask God right now to give us that. We need that. We want that. We ask you to give us that. You said that you are our Lord. We're asking you for all those things that you said you was going to give us in the Quran. God, we are asking you for those things right now in the moment. As I hear my voice, as we hear my voice, as you hear my voice, you record my voice, we're asking you that anything that we need taken care of, any kind of fear we've been going through, any kind of issues we've been going through, we want you to give us the strength to work through those issues, to get through those issues, and be the best submitters. Because you told us we are the Khalifa. We're asking you to manifest your power to us so we can see it and understand it and live it and feel it and taste it and be it. Because you said, God, you told us if we call on you and we ask you for certain things, you was going to give it to us. So we believe in that. This is why we asking you for that. No matter what comes down the pipeline. You are our Lord. You are our God. And we thank you for showing us and giving us this insight that you are our Lord. You are our God. And we ask you to keep us in the forefront so that we may truly understand who we are. And we don't get caught out there by the shaitan, and we don't get caught out there by our inner shaitan. So we call on you. For those just walking in, the title of Qur'an is called Quran. It's for all time. Open your mind. As I made mention earlier, when you open the book, you will open your mind. If you don't open the book, then you will keep closed your mind. Because no one can enlighten you and teach you like the Creator. You can go to Harvard, you can go to John Jay, you can go to Skidmore, you can go to any one of these universities out here, any one of these schools. You can get with this guru, this imam, but you won't get it like how you're going to get it from the Quran. How God is going to give it to you. Because God is just. We don't see God, but we feel God. Because God gives us certain things that lets us know there is something working behind the scenes. I can't see it, but I can feel it. I see the manifestations of the signs that there is something greater than me that is doing some things that I never thought would ever happen in my life. When my back was against the wall, when I doubted, when I feared, God came through. When they didn't have my back like I thought they was going to have my back, God came through. When the kids started acting up, and people who I was down for and loved and cared for started acting up, God came through. God always comes through for us. We are the submitters. God tells us in 62:10, I'm going to reread it for those who just came in. Absolutely, God's allies have nothing to fear, nor will they grieve. Talking about us here. Talking about us. There are those who believe and lead a righteous life, for them joy and happiness in this world, as well as in the hereafter. This is God's unchangeable law, such as the greatest triumph. I'm rereading a little bit so that those who just walking can kind of get the gist of where I'm going with the sermon and stuff. Do not be saddened by their utterances, for all power belongs to God. He is the hearer of your sin. God is telling us, once again, I'm kind of repeating myself, God is saying when people say certain things and it makes us feel a certain way, God is telling us, do not be saddened by what they're saying, because all power belongs to God. And God is telling us, do not give them the power that He has placed inside of you. Don't give them God's power anymore. God has placed some power in you. That's God's power. And God is teaching us how to become more stronger emotionally when people are saying things or doing things that make us feel a certain way. Because this path deals with every aspect of who you are as a human being. Because if you was an angel, then there would be no need for you to be in the Quran. But the Quran is for mankind, all of humanity. This is from our Lord. So it addresses the human condition, the situation, place, and time of that condition. And you will know it if you're reading the book. You say, whoa, God told me don't be sad about what they're saying, so I'm not. Take a deep breath, calm down, relax, relax, relax. That's it. Okay? All power belongs to God. And we got to constantly say that. Because right now, I had to talk with somebody I just met on the train, right? And me and the brother had so much in common. Had on a similar same shirt. I was like, and the way I was thinking, he said, man, that's the same. I said, you see that? Two complete strangers feeling and thinking the same thing. And we bonded. We didn't get each other's number, but we bonded. I said, wow. You know? I said, wow, he shared some stuff. And I'm like, wow, you know, I'm telling you, man. God will, listen, God will show you. I'm with you. Listen. Look, God is going to put people, people who are already in our lives, we're going to see the aspects of God working. But even strangers, people we never met in our life, we'll be able to see the power of God in them, and we'll be able to see the workings of God in them by the various conversations and stuff that we have with them. But guess what? If you're not reading this book, you're not going to get it. When it comes, you won't get it. You won't get it. They won't get it. But if you read in the book, and a situation comes about, and you reflect back to your Lord instead of reflecting back to the emotions. You know how we do when we go on the emotional trip. You know we lose it sometimes. You know, that's the human condition. We're humans. We're not going to always have it together. But if we just stop in that moment of when we are not having it together, and it's a constant maintenance. It's sort of like when you got the house, you got to maintain the pipes. It's the same thing with you. You got to maintain the emotional, all these different things about who you are. And that's how you know that you're on the path, because you're striving. Don't think, oh, I said I believe in one. No, you're going to go through some stuff. But the blessing is that you'll be able to understand that the Creator had pinpointed the situation already in the Quran. And God will give you the understanding of exactly what that situation is. But you have to read the Quran. Quran is for all time. Open your mind. The Quran opens your mind. It opens our mind and winding it down. So we no longer, inshallah, want to be saddened by the utterances. We ask God to give us that extra power, the understanding and application of the power that He's already written down in the Quran. God, whatever you have written down in this book, we ask you to give us the power to formulate, articulate, and motivate it in the situations that's coming that we see, have saw, and the ones that we don't see. We ask you to give us those powers that you have, so we can, like the boxer, we're going to be bobbing and weaving, rocking and rolling. So when life shows, I'm a duck. When life shows, I'm a back up. This is what we're asking you, God alone, to give us a stronger insight and understanding of the book, so that we can be better people. I ain't talking about holier than thou people. We don't want to be them people. I ain't talking about putting our nose up in the air, looking down on people. I ain't talking about judging people. No, I'm talking about looking at self, working on self, becoming a better self. That's what I'm talking about. Tilling the inner garden. So that way when we come upon situations where the inner garden has not been tilled, we don't spill and freak out, but we will remain calm in the situation. God will. Because it's a process. And like Imam David said, over time, profound. Yeah, over time, we will get it. If we want it, you're going to get it. If you really want what God has in store for you, and you understand the plan and formula of how to get it, we will get it. Because we want it. Because we are allies of the Creator. God don't need us. We need God. So we pray, God, you said that if we ask, you're going to give us. God, we want it. We need it. We deserve it. We ask you to manifest it to us. In every dynamic, family aspect, spiritual aspect, emotional aspect. And if we, like all those goodies that you promised to us, let us be given those things while we are living, because we know and believe that when we leave here, we're going to get some other goodies. But we ask you to manifest on a deeper level some of the goodies that we may really need or we may have a desire for, as long as we're not hurting ourselves. God said, listen, God says, in Baqarah, he says, ask me. Ask me. So whatever you want, you better go ask God for it. Whatever you want, go to God. Because we got some folks we can go to and get some things from. But then there's some things that nobody cannot do for you, nobody cannot give you, nobody cannot provide for you but the Creator. And this is who we go to for those things. Those things that nobody can give, do, place, handle, deal with, actualize, materialize, but the Creator. And I'm going to tell you, it's a path to get to, and we're there, because God is allowing it to be manifested through the Qur'an, and we see it in our lives in different aspects. We asked and God gave. So let me get back, because everything is entwined. Quran is for a time. Open your mind and then, not shutting it down, but I know people that go back to work and stuff like that, and so I'm gonna wind it down. Okay. I'm in Surah 10:66. Jonah, Yunus, Absolutely to God belongs everyone in the heavens and everyone on earth. Those who set up idols beside God are really following nothing. They only think that they are following something. God telling us they're not following nothing, but they think they're following something. Isn't that something? God took two words. He took nothing and something. You see how they coincide and they mesh together? Look, what they're following is nothing, but they think it's something. We ask God to protect us from that thought process, to protect us from even thinking like that. Even with the knowledge we have right now of this path, we ask God to protect us from that. We literally protect me from thinking like that. Thinking that I'm doing everything right, come to find out I'm doing everything wrong. And I'm saying assalamu alaikum, alhamdulillah, and all that stuff. And I'm making 5 prayers and doing various acts of worship and go through development and devotions. And then find out that there's still some stuff about me. Wow. So we ask the Creator to constantly enlighten us. And once we get the enlightenment, heighten the enlightenment. Because we're going to get the level, but we're going to continue reaching those levels. Yeah, I'll continue. Matter of fact, that's a promotion right there. We want to ask God to continue to promote us, right? That's what we want. A continuance of promotion, spiritual promotions. Because when your spirit is right, everything else is going to be right. And if they're not right, you'll see they're not right because your spirit is right, and you are not going to get involved in none of that stuff that's not right. Whatever may be your weakness, whatever may be your test, whatever may be, whatever it is you going through, because we're all dealing with something, seen and unseen. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Your personal jihad that only you know you got, that only you know that you're dealing with it. You got to be real. Submission is about being real. Go on. You want to lie to myself? I've done that for so long. Now the light has been given. So do I want to stay in the dark, or do I want to get into the light? Once you say I'm walking in this light, that means that you're going to have to uncover some stuff, shed some stuff, change some stuff, and look at sometimes an ugly person in the mirror and say, you know what? You're in light now. You got to change. Because this is not what I'm saying, it's what the Creator is telling us. If you want to reach some levels with the Creator, and if we're saying we're allies of the Creator, then there's some things that we will, have to embark upon to signify what the real meaning of ally is. Ally of the Creator. Wow, that's deep. That's really deep. That means God is you are God's friend and God is your friend. That's my ally. Out in the street, we say homeboy or homegirl, right? But it gets deeper than that with the Creator, because God is running everything, controlling everything. It's deep. It's deep. This Quran is deep. Quran is for all time. Open your mind. And what I mean by that is, God willing, we're going to let go a lot of the preconceived notions and ideas and the preconceived things that we thought was right. We're going to let all that stuff go so we can find true freedom. True freedom in the moment, tomorrow, next month, next year, and in the future. And God willing, in the hereafter, once we shed this body. That's what it's about. We want to be free on every level of every dynamic of who we are as Semitic. We want to be free from those things that has given us hang-ups, from those things that has made us fear, made us doubt, made us feel scared, angry, losing control. We want to let all that stuff go. We want to feel the freedom of what submission is and what God promises us. That they will not fear nor grieve. We want that. Don't y'all want that?
Yes.
Okay, mashallah. So let me just end the sermon, right? Okay. They only think that they are following something. God protect us from that. They only guess. He's the one who rendered the night for your rest and rendered the day lightning. These are proofs for people who can hear. Who can hear? You know what? I think I've said enough. So, let's come to